don't speak for me, but here
Yeah.
we are. Canadians feel unwelcome in the US as mistrust remains high, finds a new poll. Pollster Jack Jedwab now sees Canadian anger and frustration being focused primarily on the American government and less so the American people. Now that Canada's trade war with America has surged back into public consciousness like a blast from the recent past, oh my gosh. A new poll suggests Canadian frustration with and mistrust of the US remains high despite a slight easing. I mean, what kind of lead is this? I can't. Anyway, so there was a dramatic realignment, apparently, of Canadian attitudes toward its southern neighbor. And then here we go. This is, I think, the lead that should have been there. Europe and Britain were suddenly the countries Canadians felt best about, and Canadians were starting to feel about America the way they feel about Russia. And this comes also as Carney tries to, Trump derangement syndrome is obviously infiltrating the pollsters, but this comes as Carney is trying to align Canada more with Europe and the European Union and break those ties that we've traditionally and historically held with the United States. And now you have a pollster here in the background, basically just backing all of that up. So I'm not surprised, but this certainly doesn't speak for a number of Canadians, including myself.
Again, I think that these are the mask wearers on the airplanes still. You know what I mean? Because they just believe everything the government and the CBC, and I shouldn't make a distinction there, tells them. And talk about burying the lead. Back in April, barely 1 in 5, or 21%, said they trust Americans in a similar poll. But the latest poll, that figure has rebounded to 34%, which is historically normal. And about the same as it was near the end of Trump's first term, but still considerably lower than the 59% it reached in October 2023. So that shows you that the Liberals campaigned on fear. It worked for them. But the whole point of this is normal. This is your typical uppity, snooty Canadian anti-Americanism at its stasis. So why is this even an article? Because as they said, this is where it's historically at.
Yeah.
What am I reading here then?
The bar that they're holding is that it's still considerably lower than the 59% it reached in October 2023. I'm sorry, under Biden, we felt more welcome and less aggressive toward the United States, because when Biden was the president, who couldn't even prevent himself from falling off of his bike while riding it. I mean, it's obviously a politically backed poll and is speaking to the differences. Like when Canada has a liberal government and the US has a liberal government, it's all good and friendly and we're fine. And then as soon as the US switches to a conservative government, all of a sudden there's hostility and mistrust apparently remains high. I don't know about you guys, but I trust Trump a heck of a lot more than I trust Biden.
Yeah, Trump just gave us a $7 billion tax cut. Because of the internet tax that got canceled because of him. Maybe Canadians feel unwelcome in the United States because they have bought into the lies about how we need to fight the Americans, and because they've allowed themselves to fall into the anti-Americanism trap. After saying terrible things about Americans for the last 6 months, you're lucky if they let you into the country at all. You know what I mean? If I talked bad about a friend and neighbor, and then I went over to their house to visit, yeah, there might be some awkwardness, but that's on me, not on them. This is just the dumbest article ever, because they're saying that the numbers are actually where they historically are. Okay. Thanks. Great. Good article, buddies.
Thanks for letting us know that we're right on par.
Do you agree with me? It is time to make Canada great again. And that is why we at Rebel News have teamed up with MCGA Hats to introduce, well, the fashion sensation of 2025. Oh, and by the way, these beautiful hats, they are made in Canada. We don't rely on cheap imports coming over from China. So what are you waiting for, folks? Show your pride. This is the perfect thing for a patriot to wear, or maybe there's a patriot in your life that you would like to gift such a hat. Please go to mcgahats.ca. That's mcgahats.ca. Don't be shy about it. Wear this cap. Let everybody know you want to make Canada great again.